Welcome to the Power of Lifting podcast. I'm Eric Cafferty, owner of the Mecca Gym. I am a strength and conditioning coach and a contest prep specialist. The focus of this podcast is to dive into the mindset and the drive of people who have done incredible things with their lives. Feed me, I'm hungry.
Oh, I will feed you. No problem. Eric, thanks for letting me interview. Absolutely appreciate it. Absolutely appreciate it. You are a consummate professional, an elite athlete who trains elite athletes. I like to say that anyway.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, try my best.
Have you always been an athlete, a fitness guy?
Yeah, pretty much. I've always been an athlete. I started playing sports when I was really young. I played pretty much every sport there was to play until I was about 7. I skated on the ice for the first time. So ice hockey stuck with me for a long time, until I started college and got really burnt out. But I ended up playing, up to the junior level, and then just kind of threw in the towel. I got injured a few times. I was kind of sick of it at that point.
Did you see a future with it? Did you want to take it places?
Absolutely. Sure. I mean, doesn't every kid want to play in the NFL?
The dream.
Yeah. So yeah, I was kind of like, NHL. I went to camps and, played with some pretty elite athletes, some pretty elite hockey players. But I just, the passion kind of died down when I was just playing a lot. And when I got up to that high level, it became more of a job and less like a sport, less fun. And I didn't have the passion in me at that point in time. I'd just been playing too much. And, I hadn't really, I did other sports. I did track. I did some football. When I was really little, I did, soccer, basketball, all of them,
Right.
But hockey's the one that stuck and I was super passionate about. I saw myself playing in college at the pro level. Even graduated high school a year early to go and play in the juniors, and just decided that it wasn't for me. So I backed out.
Was that a hard decision to make? Were you like,
Not
do you
at
feel
all.
like you were giving up a dream? No, because you were already worn out by
Not at all.
that.
No, I was so focused on just life in general. I was really focused on, I wanted to go to school. I wanted to go to college. Mm-hmm. And I didn't want to wait around and play juniors for a couple years and then try and get a scholarship or whatever to play hockey. I was kind of done playing. I was sick of being injured, to be honest. My body was just a wreck, my knees and joints. And, if I knew then what I knew now,
Right.
So
the hindsight's 20/20.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So, I really could have helped myself back then if I had the knowledge base I do now. But at the time, I didn't have anybody helping me on rehab and, all that stuff. So I was glad to be done and to be able to lift and train.
Yeah.
Because that's what I really loved to do. Mm-hmm. Even at the time, I saw myself gravitating more towards lifting and less towards hockey.
The passion shifted, you think?
The passion shifted, yeah. I just loved the challenges and the way I felt lifting and seeing changes with my body. And it was just, it felt good, and it wasn't constantly beating me up like playing sports was.
Mm-hmm. You are an advocate of burning the boats, making sure that, you cut it and you just send it. You make sure that you do your best. Yeah. Do you feel like that was kind of developed early on, or is that something you kind of developed later?
I think that it's definitely something that's kind of ingrained within my being, if you will. Yeah. So, like from a personality standpoint, it's really difficult for me to not go 100% into things that I'm really passionate about.
Uh-huh.
And so if I see something that I want or that I'm passionate about, I tend to, do everything within my power to set the best course possible. Not necessarily the fastest course, but the most, I guess the most effective course.
Yeah.
Because, something else that I'm very, very passionate about is thinking many, many steps ahead. So, walking down the path mentally, hundreds of times before you actually walk the path is something that I've always been, cognizant of.
We're talking like visualization kind of stuff?
Visualization and just planning, each decision that I make, I want to imagine every single different outcome and, the possibilities of those outcomes and what's going to happen with each outcome to the end of the road. I think that's a big thing that most people don't do in their life is, think about the consequences and or the aftermath, or think about the repercussions, the effects their decisions are making in the long term. People tend to think one step ahead, and that's gonna lead to some big blunders, in my opinion. So
absolutely. And then just regret and decisions after that.
Right.
When you say that, do you wish like you could like talk to your teen self and be like, listen, you need to practice working steps ahead? Because I don't feel like that's something that people naturally have. Maybe they got to work for being able to think steps ahead, or you think that came naturally? I was always super, super cautious growing up. I never really do anything without thinking it through, and I've kind of always been like that. If I'm doing something impulsive, I know I'm doing something impulsive, and it does happen. Right. Well, you're cognizant of it.
Definitely.
That's interesting.
Very, very self-aware.
Interesting. Yeah. A lot of people aren't. I know that I'm not necessarily that way.
Yeah. I mean, I think, self-awareness definitely comes from a lot of self-reflection, and I'm probably way more hypercritical on myself than I should be, I guess, or, than people realize. But, I'm definitely way more aware of all of my shortcomings than everybody else is.
Yeah.
It's kind of like with bodybuilders, every bodybuilder is staring at themselves in the mirror, and they understand where the weak points in their physique are. So, for example, I'm very aware that from a bodybuilding perspective, I have certain weak points, and some stranger off the street may look at my physique and not necessarily pick up on those weak points like I would as an individual. So, I think that, self-reflection is huge, but definitely being self-aware and situationally aware is, something that I've always kind of been like that for the most part. And I've had to work on channeling that and what to do with that, because that can really be crippling when you're really hyper cautious, because it can lead to lack of decision making and lack of action.
Well, right. Yeah, it's almost like it can cause the opposite of what you want it to.
Exactly.
Which is weird. It's like one of those paradoxes of life.
Exactly.
So we go back in the story a little bit, not necessarily back, but you said you really wanted to go to school. Like you wanted to make that a priority. Why is that?
I just wanted to not be a kid anymore.
Okay.
Grow
up.
I wanted to grow up, damn it. I was sick of living off of my parents. I was sick of, living at home, even though I was, 17 years old. I very much so have always been, wanting to make my own decisions and wanting to, be, dependent upon myself and not dependent upon anybody else. I'm still very much so like that. I want to be not just in control, but I want to be self-reliant and, just have freedom,
Right. Well, I think that absolutely separates you. I feel like it's just not that way for many, especially 17-year-olds. It kind of blows my mind. Like they want to stay in their parents' house as much as possible. They want to not take responsibility for their action.
Yeah, I have a hard time, connecting with a lot of my own generation. I think that
you kind of a lone wolf.
Fall not necessarily a lone wolf. I like people. I love being around people all day, and I definitely have a very tight circle, but I can relate more to those people that are in my parents' generation.
Okay.
In terms of, steps of life. Like kids these days, man, I can't even relate to. I mean, because, kids are like wanting to wait to get their driver's license, stuff like that. I'm like, dude, I had my license the day that it was possible.
Right.
So I could drive
just
my
dreaming
own self
about
around.
it the week before.
Like independence was like my dream, right? When I was a kid, and a lot of kids these days and people for that matter, they just don't, they don't place value in that. They just want to be taken care of. They want things done for them. Like I prefer to do everything myself, and it's really challenging for me to like relinquish responsibility of things. Obviously, I mean, a lot of my employees now, have to put up with my, lack of wanting to relinquish control of tasks that I don't need to be a part of. Right. I mean, it's, it's just one of those things that I'm sure, can be frustrating. Like for example, I have cabinets sitting in my garage that I've been building, and I don't really have time, but I don't want anybody else to do it because I want it to be perfect and I want control of the outcome and what it looks like and stuff. It's just little things like that, all the way to, being able to, I want to be able to train everybody in the world because I know I can do a good job of it, and I, happen to think that I can do it better than anybody else. And so I, for a long time, had a really difficult time denying clients. I should have stopped taking clients, 5 years ago. Right. But it was, I had a really hard time with that. And now, I definitely, it's not that I don't take new clients, but it's just very rare. But like even that, but then again, opening this gym was a big step for me in that way because I was able to, create an environment and a team that could carry out, that level of service, right? That's my whole mission with all of my guys here is let's, create a team that's able to provide, the same level of service that I would provide to clients, therefore, expanding the reach and just being able to provide for, the demand of quality, training and coaching that, that I can provide. Well, now, I have a team of people that's equipped to do the same thing.
Right.
So
let's talk about that if you don't mind a little bit. So you went to college, passionate about learning, getting independent. When was the shift to I want to be a gym owner?
Man, that's a good question. And I don't know exactly, but it was really early on.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that probably about the time I switched my major in my undergrad, I was going pre-med bio, and I switched my my emphasis to exercise physiology. I think at that point in time, I was kind of looking at career paths, and I wanted to do the training, personal training thing, and of course I wanted to be educated, but I think that comes from, I wanted to be a healthcare provider. I wanted to be an orthopedic surgeon, right? But, doing some, some job shadowing and getting some real world experience with those types of people just made me realize that, as an orthopedic surgeon, you don't really have that intimate relationship with people to really have an impact on their life. Now, do you have a profound impact on people's lives? Absolutely. I'm not saying that they don't.
Of course.
You're fixing people and you're doing things. You have skills that I certainly don't have, right? You've earned those skills and gone to school for a long time to do things that I can't do, right? Yeah. But you don't have the relationship with people that that personal relationship, being able to have an impact on somebody's life. You have an impact on a different way, right? You fix a knee, you fix a shoulder, yes, people are, eternally grateful for you, but you're not walking step by step with that person.
It's definitely a long-term relationship.
Right. Yeah. So the trainer coach client relationship is just, so much different. You work with people on, such a different level. I was talking to somebody, I was joking about how, I know a lot of my clients just about as good as their spouses do. You know what I mean? It's you really do get to know your clients very, very well. But I love that about this job. Right. I love being able to help people because, not only are you a trainer and a coach teaching people how to do this skill, you empower people, you're their psychologist, you're their therapist, and I love that about this job because it allows me to make a positive impact on people in more ways than just one. Yes, I can help people transform their physique, but I can also help people transform their mind.
Right. Which is a huge deal and many people need.
I think it's the biggest deal.
Does it scare you to have to kind of get that relationship with people, or you're so passionate about it doesn't scare you? It's let's do it. Let's get together and roll.
I know the way.
Okay, yes, sir.
This is the way.
This is the way.
Yeah. No, it's not scary at all because, obviously you only, want to help people as much as they need help or what they ask you for. And, it's not like I'm here to actually be somebody's therapist or actually give them, medical advice or anything. I'm not saying disclaimer, that at all.
Yes,
Disclaimer, not the case. But, to be able to, be essentially a wellness coach, to be a life coach, something like that, that's what you sign up for when you sign up to be a trainer. And is that intimidating? No, not at all, because, I happen to think that I have good morals, and I set, the best example I possibly can for people. And I feel like I have, good educated opinions, and I can definitely stay professional while, answering people's fitness oriented questions and things like that. But, it's a matter of, empowering people in the gym. Like, yes, you can do this, and that's going to carry over to other parts of their life. So it's not like I'm trying to say, I want to talk about people's relationships, because that is not the case, but I definitely want to empower people, to achieve their fitness goals. And what I'm trying to say is that is going to carry over into other parts of their life. And, anybody who's gone through, a fitness journey, or even competed or something like that, like, what I mean when I say that, that whole experience in and of itself, not necessarily just the coach-client relationship, but just the experience and the evolution you go through throughout that process is a game changer.
Well, it's life. Yeah, it's life-changing.
Oh, for sure.
Total lifestyle overboard.
Yeah.
I mean, that changed my life, making fitness priority. It changed my wife's life. I mean, you just see it. And you see it glow in people, I think.
Oh, for sure.
So when you, start with somebody, and then you see, somebody you've been working for 5 years, they've been doing their best, hitting their goals, I'm sure that gives you the biggest high.
That's I would say the most rewarding thing is when it clicks in people's head.
Okay.
The whole process, when you show people that they have control over their bodies, and we're talking, say, from a general fitness standpoint, when you teach people that they truly do have control of their body, and that they can, overcome challenges that they've had, whether it be with, eating or with exercise, or you name it, people, variety of things that you run into with people. But, seeing people come in the gym and working hard and making progress, and that they got bit, like they see what it's doing for them, I think that's definitely one of the most rewarding things I can experience. Yeah,
I can imagine, because you're just like you're asking your clients or people you're working with, change your life, make this your lifestyle. Right. You do nothing that you haven't done yourself, or that you don't ask anybody to do that you haven't done yourself. Like, you've competed even many times.
20
times.
20 times.
Holy cow.
And that's, just in bodybuilding, I've done a few powerlifting.
And then you do powerlifting and stuff like that. So you know what you're talking about. And so I think that moment where you see that click is, I can't even imagine the rush.
Yeah, that's one of the best feelings for sure. Yeah,
absolutely. So the Mecca, the gym you started, has been open for 5 years now. Birthday was a couple days ago.
5-year birthday, baby.
5-year birthday. And that has been fast, slow, most rewarding experience of your life, crazy, all of the above?
I can't believe it's been 5 years.
Sure.
Yeah, I just show up here. You know what I mean?
do my thing.
I just do my thing.
5 years later.
And here we are, 5 years later, and no, it's pretty crazy, because the month after we opened, my first little boy was born, and I can't believe he's going to turn 5 next month. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So I can't believe that it's been 5 years, and I've been working in this industry and training people for over 10 now, like 11 or 12 years now. So, I can't believe that I'm like getting old, man.
It's experienced.
Yeah,
very experienced. The goals that you kind of had when you started, how have they differed after 5 years? Do you think anything's changed?
I think a lot of things have changed, mainly just because the landscape of fitness has changed drastically since we opened doors, since I started in this industry. Things are going digital, virtual, whatever you want to call it. It's just a different game. The brick and mortar thing is just, it's still there, but at first, I wanted to open 16 gyms or more and make it happen, Now, do I want to open more locations? Yes. Sure. But is it a priority? not necessarily.
Priorities have shifted.
Not like it was. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and that's just because, flat out, I can do more good for people online than I could opening a brick and mortar gym. A gym is important, but I feel like what we really have to give here that sets us apart from the brick and mortar location is, our knowledge. And that's something that we can give to everyone, not just, our local clients here. So I think that, my focus has definitely shifted into, pursuing, my passion, helping people, just on a different scale. The thing is, I want to get our message out to everybody. I want everybody to know who we are. And part of that is because there's just so much BS in the fitness industry, man. It's like every time you pull up your phone, whether you're on the news or social media or whatever, you're getting fed some crap about some fad or some idiot that's promoting some new diet. And you're just like,
it's just sad and scary.
What are people supposed to think? Really? Right. I mean,
just
if you don't know anything, if you don't know anything, you're getting on, Yahoo News and you see this joker promoting the snake diet and you're like, oh, that looks cool. And it's
I want
like,
to be a snake.
Yeah. Oh, snakes are ripped, Yeah, you got this joker promoting, some new diet fad. And, I just feel bad because I know that there are people that fall victim to that marketing, and they're just spinning their wheels, wasting their times. Now, a lot of those people, they kind of desire to make change, but not really. They just, they're kind of grasping at things that like they know they need to be healthier and things like that. But, people need to be fed the cold, hard truth, and people need to be shown the way. The real way or the best way to get results, it's definitely challenging. There's not a magical pill, but there is an optimal way that's going to make it way easier on people, rather than, just, you need to do, 6,000 minutes of miss cardio a week and you need
nothing.
You need to no carbs. God, no. Right. No to carbs, only protein and only one meal a day. Right.
False.
I mean, every time you turn the corner, somebody's promoting fasting or somebody's promoting no carbs or somebody's promoting, no this, no that. Like anybody who promotes balance is like people don't pay attention to. They're just like, we don't give a shit about you.
You're not exciting. You're not sexy.
You're not sexy. Yeah. What? We can do this and be balanced and live a normal, healthy life? Get out of here.
No, that's not going to do it.
That's not hardcore.
That's right. People want to go hardcore. Yeah. It's interesting. The fitness hardcore or nothing.
It's nothing.
But that's really unfortunate.
I mean, or they just want to take some, some stimulant pill, some fat burner or some, everybody jokes, says the magic pill or, they want to go take, phentermine or Adderall or some sort of stimulant and just, get super skinny, or they want to take some, muscle building something or other, take some steroids or whatever. You know what I mean? There's just a lot of people out there that are just grasping for things that they can just take without actually changing habits. And if people only knew how easy changing your habits really were, maybe they wouldn't be grasping for those things. But that's what we're here to do.
Teach.
We're here to teach.
Educate.
Go to class. Go to school.
Yeah. But it's a fun school.
It's a fun school.
I've received teachings from you. I've changed my lifestyle. It is fun. But you got to commit, obviously. I mean, we don't bullshit around here.
No. We can't have any of that.
We can't do that because then you're on that roller coaster. You're never going to be happy. All of this kind of stuff that you would get when you're following some fad.
At that point in time, you're Chris Farley and Tommy Boy. You're riding along. Wee, wee. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. It's just, it's a train wreck online. So, we're definitely here to get people focused in on the right things. We're here to give quality information. And, we're here to have conversations with people who have been successful in fitness and people who, have stories that are inspirational in fitness and, people that walk the walk and talk the talk. That's who I'm interested in, is people that, walk the walk, talk the talk. Fitness is a part of their life and, it has enriched their life. And, they live by it, and they can positively impact other people with their message,
and that's why you created this platform.
Exactly.
Right? Podcast. And then, we go back, you talk about getting online, putting all these messages.
Right.
I'm going to give you this little thing. You have got some big things planned, and you're working very hard behind the scenes.
Trying.
Stay tuned, people. This is going to be a big deal.
Big deal.
A little plug for Eric Cafferty.
Coming right up.
It's going to be fantastic. When you talk about people and stuff like that, do you feel that you've created a team here that people can look to as those people that have walked the walk, can talk the talk, know what they're talking about?
Yeah, I can honestly say that the crew that we have here is, probably the most tight-knit it's been for sure, but it's also made up of people who are all doers, and all people who set great examples, who have great attitudes, and they have great information to give out to people, and not just, the trainers are great, but also, all of the clients and members and things like that. I just can't say enough about all the group that we are immersed in every day, and super, super grateful for our team that's ever growing. And yeah, they have a lot of good stuff. We have a lot of good stuff coming.
We got a lot of good stuff.
We're going to put all the information out there for everybody to see.
For everyone to see. Take a hold of it. Join the ride.
Join the ride.
It's fantastic. Do you have? I think I'm going to get real with you real quick because I think people want to understand more. Do you fear the future, or do you think it's something to just take a hold on and go?
No, never. I think that there's no reason to fear. What is there to fear, right?
Okay.
What, death? That's about it. You get over that real quick. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
No, I definitely don't have any fear for the future. In terms of all the gym closures, coronavirus, all that stuff. I just don't get the fearfulness, I get it. I understand that people, don't want to get sick and all that stuff. And I get that people are, scared about, who's going to be our president and things like that. But you know what? Life is going to go on. You know what? Life's going to go on through coronavirus. Shutting businesses down, do I agree with it? Absolutely not. But, we're going to figure it out regardless, whether people are going to try and force us to close down again or, by the time people are listening to this, maybe we are being trying to force close down again. I don't know,
right.
But regardless, am I scared of it? No, because I know that I'm going to do the things that I need to do to, A, help other people, and B, I'm going to keep myself afloat. And I'm not just talking financially, I'm talking about mentally.
Yep.
As long as my wife and kids are healthy and safe, then I really don't.
Yeah.
The world could be burning.
Right. That's a success, yeah.
That's, what I mean? That's not legitimately how I feel, but close.
When it comes down to it, bottom line.
When it comes down to it, there's things that, that are important to you. I know what's important to me. I know that I'm always going to have integrity. I know that, I'm always going to put my wife and kids first. I know that I'm going to do what's right for, all of my employees, everybody around me, and that's that, and I'm going to do my best to help support those people who have supported me and helped me.
It's community.
It's community. Yeah. It's, you gotta give to get, what I mean? And I think that I try and do the best I possibly can at being more of a giver and serving others, serving my employees and my family and all that stuff. And, I think that if the focus is on serving others, then I think that, you're going to be just fine. It's, when people start being, greedy and selfish and, all of those things, that's when bad stuff happens. So
yeah,
bad stuff ain't happening here.
No, it's not going to happen. We got a bright future with Eric Cafferty. Do you have any doubts, when you think about your goals? You're definitely a go-getter and a doer. That's what you said. We got doers around here. Do you doubt yourself often? Is that kind of a personal trait of yours?
Oh, constantly.
Constantly, huh?
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's lots of doubts.
Okay.
Lots of doubts.
But
sure.
you fight those through action.
That's right.
Is that a way to say that?
Yeah, I mean, you really don't know unless you try, right?
Uh-huh.
I mean, that's what, a lot of business is taking calculated risks, you know what I mean? And yeah, I mean, there's always doubts. I mean, it's not like I don't wake up in the morning and just feel like this overwhelming surge of like, I'm going to go just tear the day in pieces and, crush it and do all these crazy things.
Right.
It's like, it's just, consistently working day in and day out to get closer to your goals and, just action, like you said, just straight up taking action, and that can be in business, that can be, in any avenue of life. If you're just, taking action and working towards things, I think you got a whole lot less to fear. It's when you sit back and allow things to happen to you, that's when
deep
you're going to be less successful.
Take action rather than be acted upon.
That's right.
Then you got the confidence, the pride.
Yeah.
I mean, you see the successes and everything kind of rolls.
Yeah, I mean, really, you just don't have time for doubts. I don't have time for doubts. It is, I guess, a hard mindset to get into. I guess I mean, it's not like bad stuff doesn't happen. I mean, bad stuff happens to me all the time, but you know what I mean. You got to control what you can control. And a lot of things that happen, I mean, they're just flat out of your control at that time. Like maybe you could have done something earlier and prevented it, but that ship has sailed. So, you don't have time to sit there and have regret. You got to, okay, what can I do from this point forward to fix this situation? Same thing when people are, say they cheated on their diet or something like that, and they sit there and they're like depressed and feel down on themselves. Which is totally a normal thing. It's like, man, I mean, do better tomorrow. Yeah. Like today, I mean, what's done is done. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, you're not changing it. Don't dwell on the past. Think about what steps, and this comes back to self-reflection. Think about the steps that you could take next time to have a more positive outcome. Yeah. Instead of just thinking like, I'm such a trash bag for eating that cookie. It's like, well, why did you eat the cookie?
There we go.
Right?
The why.
Why did you eat the cookie? Don't eat the cookie.
Yeah, right.
I always eat the cookie.
I'm a big fan of cookies. We've talked about this
chocolate
before.
Chip cookies.
Just an absolute death pill, the chocolate chip cookies.
Yes.
Addiction. I might need to see somebody.
It's bad.
So going back, I ask kind of these questions because I know that you have lived through experiences that you've had to put this into action. And this you're not just bullshitting everybody right now. You try not to. I mean, sometimes you got to throw it around.
Yeah, a little.
No, it's good. And so you experienced this to grow this business over 5 years, the way that it is, the elite fitness center in the Valley. And I feel like so many people appreciate that and know that. So I guess now on top of that all, what makes you the happier? So what's your favorite part of what you do?
I would say, positively impacting people in their lives and enriching other people's lives. And I know we've touched on that a lot, but I definitely see enjoyment in watching other people have success. And like I kind of mentioned, them getting bit by, the fitness bug, or, when even, my contest prep people, seeing them have success on stage is, definitely a huge positive to me. And, being able to do so in a healthy way. Watching people hit meet PRs, in powerlifting, that's always super fun to experience that with people. But, what I will say, one of my, I guess my favorite things and most positive things about what I do is when I see, trainers that I've, brought on and mentored and things like that, when they can go and have a positive impact on people's lives, I know that I've really, done something that's good.
Kind of the next level.
Passing the torch, if you will.
Oh, yeah. How can you not? It's almost like a father figure. So seeing their son do something and you're just like, that's my boy.
Yeah, that's my boy. Yeah. No, I mean, for sure. And, a lot of that is on them. We got some great people around here. But, yeah, I mean, just, enabling others to pursue their passion with fitness and help them along their journey to help others. I think that's something that I really, have found some passion in.
Yeah.
So
for sure. That's amazing. Eric, you're a man of character, integrity, hard work. I mean, you're just a freaking man. We love you. We're so excited to have this podcast up. Absolute wonderful. We got guests coming. We got knowledge to be shared. Everyone stay tuned.
Stay tuned. I'm excited.
Absolutely.
We're gonna grip and rip, baby.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Thank you for joining us on the Power of Lifting podcast. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. For more content like this, follow Eric Cafferty and the Mecca Gym on all social media platforms.